The point of this car is to run forever and cost me as little as possible, not actually to be comfortable. It's important to remember that. Welcome back to the channel. I am about 750 miles into the ultimate commuter road trip. Now, this is my first road trip in this car. After 750 miles, I am averaging 33.6 miles a gallon, according to the dashboard. Right off the bat, I'm impressed. From a commuter, I don't know what else you could ask for. Now, would I trade 8 miles a gallon for another 200 horsepower? Yes, but given that I don't have the horsepower, I am very happy with 33 miles a gallon. Right about the time you're spending hours and hours and hours going in a straight line on the highway, that I think is when driving a big body sedan or maybe something like an Aston Martin, a Grand Touring car, you know, big motor, long hood, convertible, I think that's when you start making a choice in that sort of direction. I mentioned in my last video, you know, if you're just driving around town, it's the same air conditioning, it's the same Bluetooth. This car came out before CarPlay existed, so we won't hold that against it. I do wish it had CarPlay, it's a real shame. But again, not going to hold that against it because it was 2013, they were doing their best. But, you know, given that I can't afford an Aston Martin, it has been an excellent road trip. The driving experience could not have been better. The air conditioning is great. I do have the new Polk speakers in the rear. They're doing a lot of work right now. I'm really glad I got those done before the trip. They sound so good that it now makes me want to replace the front ones, of course, but that's, you know, classic male escalation. I wish this was a higher spec car that came with a subwoofer, because then it would be much easier to put one in. It's a huge pain in the ass, from what I can tell, to put a subwoofer in this specific car when there was not one there before. However, you can't win them all. The point of this car is to run forever and cost me as little as possible, not actually to be comfortable. It's important to remember that. While it is quite comfortable, that's not its main purpose. Its main purpose is A to B, and dang it, is it good at A to B. Well, I don't know what this guy's doing. Going weirdly slow there on a 65-mile-an-hour road. Oh, he's turning. Wow. Utah is beautiful, though. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better spot for my first road trip. Want to give a shout out to Davidas for inviting me out here. The reason I came to Utah in the first place was because my birthday was this weekend and Davidas played a show on Saturday. So he invited me out here to watch him play on Saturday, hang out for the weekend. He's played here several times, so he has a bunch of friends in town, and we got to hang out on the water all weekend. It was an absolute blast. I had a great time. There's going to be a different video coming with all of the water sports. This one is still about... This one is still in the Ultimate Commuter Series. But stay tuned for that. Anyways, I don't know if you can see in the camera. This car is reasonably loaded. I have plenty of room for more, but I got my bicycle in the back. I got a suitcase and my bicycle wheels in the trunk. The bicycle frame fits easily in the back seat without the wheels on it. I got my caffeine and electric light packets in the center console. Got my second phone working as my recording device. Got the Shure Move mics rocking and rolling. What a great car. It is so nice to drive. Speaking of driving, as a self-proclaimed enthusiast of the automotive and two-wheeled variety, we'll call it the motorsports variety, this is the first road, this road leading up to Zion National Park. It's a 65-mile-an-hour road. The first time I drove down it, I thought, I don't need to go 65 miles an hour. I mean, beautiful. Look at that. I hope this doesn't ruin my sound. Let's see. It's not helping my sound, but this is a particularly scenic part, so we'll check it out. Now there's a truck calling up my ass because I'm going under the speed limit, but dang, that is gorgeous. Every once in a while you gotta go out in nature and remember that we don't actually matter. This planet is fine without us. That being said, I am really happy to be here, and I do love dirty, nasty, badass speed. Well, the ultimate commuter strikes again. I have, I don't know, like 375 miles back to Los Angeles. And like I said, I'm about 750 miles into this trip already. And the Millennium Falcon has just been eating the miles up like it ain't no thing. I drove all the way here on one tank, easy. I've driven the whole weekend on just over half a tank, easy. I'm going to gas up here in a little bit, and I am going to easily make it all the way back to Los Angeles on one tank. Got to tell you guys, the 2013 Accord, if all you got to do is get to where you're going, it is pretty nice. I'm obviously probably not going to take it snowboarding that often, and it's not real good for track days, but I'm not going to never take it snowboarding. And when I want to go watch a random concert 2 states away, just hop in the Honda, boys. Send it. If it sounds like I'm really talking up this car, well, yeah, it's mine. It's the one I have. I'm stuck with it. So you got to stay positive. Again, I would have bought a pickup truck. But when your sister moves to Australia, you got to take the gifts. You got to take the gifts that are given. Take the situations as they come. I could not turn down the family discount on a perfectly good Honda Accord. Runs excellent. I did the spark plugs in the last video, all the filters and speakers. I still need to put the new brake rotors on. I have the brake rotors, they're just not on yet. But I'll cross that bridge maybe this weekend. And then once the brakes are done, honestly, this car needs nothing. Except I will put front speakers in eventually, but it doesn't need them. They just sound really shitty compared to the back ones now, so in town, it never bothered me, but I really noticed how much better the new ones were on the way here. That's what happens when you spend 8 hours with a sound system. You really get to know it. The nitty-gritty details. Ooh, nice Cayman, bud. Ooh, Boxster. See, top down on a road like this, I keep bringing up Aston Martins. It's because I really want one. I would love a V12 Vantage convertible with a 6-speed manual. I'll drive one day. I actually know somebody who has one, but it's not a manual. It is a V12 Aston Martin, though. Same guy also has a Jaguar E-Type. He's a man of class. Had an absolutely great weekend with Davidas. Made a couple of new local friends. Learned how to wake surf on Saturday for the first time. After all the people I've taught how to wakeboard and water ski over my 25 years of living on the water, it was nice to be taught something new. When I was learning how to wakeboard, wake surfing didn't exist. Did not exist. So I always thought wakeboarding was way cooler. Not everybody feels the same way. I know surfing is what the cool kids are doing now. It is so much easier on your body. you're not getting towed, so you don't have the stress from holding onto the rope on your upper body, and you're going like 8 miles an hour instead of 22. So when you do crash, it hurts so much less. But I will admit, I feel so uncomfortable riding a board not strapped to it. I've been snowboarding and wakeboarding for like 20 years. But I feel a real sense of security when I'm strapped to the board, I'm not gonna lie. I was so uncomfortable just trying to control the board in the water. Of course, I know on a wakeboard, just lay flat, you'll float there easy, no problem. Of course, it's the same on a surfboard, or on a wake surfboard. But your body is just so tense because the board moves around underneath you, and you want to keep your legs bent so you're ready for the boat to go. But all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. Oh well, I learned how to wake surf. I got up, I rode it like 30 seconds, I crashed, and then I was completely wrecked. The altitude was taking a bit of a toll here, I'm not gonna lie. I do live at sea level now. And then Sunday, I actually got to go wakeboarding, which was super cool. First ride of the year. Did get the 180 in. I got the 180 switch and goofy, so I was happy with that. I was way too gassed from learning how to wake surf to actually do any jumps. I think I was, I don't know, I was trying to show off doing something, touching the water, and I ate shit. Caught my toe edge, and I just gave up after that. Also, I was on a family's boat, so the wakeboard was made for not grown men, and the bindings were a little small. But I was happy with my performance. Got footage of that, of course. Also went tubing with Davidas. That was super fun. Him and I were big enough to fight the boat. I can't remember what kind of boat it was, but it had a Volvo motor in it. And I saw, it was like 22 feet around there. When I saw it was 22 feet, Davidas and I both weigh like 180, 190 pounds. I said, brother, if we work together, we are going to be able to steer this tube. Obviously, we can't actually steer the tube, but what we can do is really fight the boat and counter the G-force that he's trying to make us experience. We got yeeted twice. And then the third time, we really figured out the teamwork, and they could not throw us off. Honest, the second time, I didn't even fall off. I actually survived. He fell off, and I made it. The third time, our friend Devin was on the boat, and she told her friend who was driving, throw their ass off. He was giving it everything that boat had. All the beans. But Davidas and I were locked in, and he couldn't actually throw us off the second time. And yes, I do have the video to prove it. So that was a great day. Ugh.
Turn right onto Utah 17.
I guess I'll do what it says.
Continue on Utah 17.
Oh, you know what I do want one of these gas stations that's in town. I might have just made a mistake. We'll find out. What's range? 200 miles? Alright, this is called State Street. It sounds like it's at least reasonably heading towards some sort of civilization. Of course, I could be super wrong. I guess we'll see how a fake turns out. The gas here is literally $2 a gallon cheaper than it is in Los Angeles. So I am absolutely filling up before I cross back into the great state of California. We're even the ones making the gas. Riddle me that. Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. This morning, I actually shot an audition. Had to draft the man Davi to read the lines with me, but I got it done. It's due Thursday, but I'm glad I got it done today because I ended up getting another audition that's due Thursday, and I'm going to have to shoot that one tomorrow because I am obviously driving right now. This is the way it took me to the highway. It took me on a 5-mile detour to the highway. That's when it pays to know which way you're actually going, I guess. I don't know what else to say about this car. I mean, it's great in town. 750 miles on the highway later. I still love it. Air conditioning is great. Sound system is much better than when I got it. And 33 miles a gallon. I mean, these are 2-lane country roads. I was basically driving on cruise control everywhere, which will help. And when it's like 100 degrees outside, 90 degrees outside, your tires are pretty much always properly inflated, which also helps a little bit. Until I do get that Aston Martin, man, is this nice to drive. I want to see how much stuff I can actually fit in here. Could I fit all of Davi's touring equipment in here? Probably not. He takes like his own speakers. He takes like 4 guitars. He's obviously got his pedal board and his keyboards and his synth and his drum pad. I might only be able to fit 1 guitar, but I bet most of his rig would fit. Well, I wasn't gonna come this way, but I guess it's nice to drive down a road I didn't already. This round trip is gonna be, I would guess, about 11 or 1200 miles. So at the end, I'll do some tallies, let you guys know exactly what you're looking at with the Ultimate Commuter. You can compare that to your own car, see how it measures up. And then I guess I could do some math, like with an Aston Martin, see how much more the same trip would have cost me. I bet, well, it would be like 30% more, you know, if I went from 30 miles a gallon to 20 miles a gallon on the highway. Like 30% more. Oh well. Again, if I have 500 or 600 horsepower, I'm happy to take that hit. There's so many different speed limit changes though. The same road will change speed limit 5 times. It'll go from 65 to 45 to 35 and then back up to 55. And if I didn't have the GPS here, I would have no idea. All right, this is annoying. I'm gonna have to pull off to get gas because I was an idiot and followed what the GPS said. Amateur move. Well, they're building a gas station there, but it ain't done yet. Wow, this guy's a rig. Full RV, towing some dirt bikes and a Jeep. That man's living. That's not my dream, but I bet it's his. They got a cattle guard before the highway entrance. I am not in Los Angeles anymore.
Continue on I-15 south for
137 miles that way. You know what I do love is 80 mile an hour speed limits though. Gosh, what a beautiful thing. Woo! 140 miles, less than 2 hours, 154 minutes it says. Mwah! Gosh, every once in a while, things work the way they're supposed to, and it is so nice. So nice. Also, there's no speed limit for semi-trailers out here, so this fucking guy's going like 86 miles an hour. What a legend. Gosh, this state is built different. All right, get away from me. Man, he's got a bunch of bar stock hanging out the back of his trailer too. He's got some momentum. All right, I'm gonna put some miles between me and Zion. We will rejoin the action when I get home for some Jeremy Clarkson maths, which of course is a cost-benefit analysis between horsepower and miles per gallon. Welcome back to Malibu. I normally would have shot this closing in my studio, but I happened to be here today and I was looking out this porch and I thought, I don't need a green screen. That'll do just fine. So I'm back from the Ultimate Commuter road trip to Zion, Utah, and I have some final math to make decisions for yourself about how much horsepower do you need versus the mileage. Now, as a commuter, the point of this car is not to put a smile on my face. It's to cost me as little as possible while taking me as far as possible. In this road trip specifically, I went 1,300 miles. I bought 39.82 gallons of gas and spent $159.12 on that gas. It's literally $2 cheaper as soon as I crossed the state border, but that's not what this video is about. That comes out to an average of 32.65 miles per gallon. And here's the big number, or the universal number, 8.17 miles per dollar. Now that one's important because, like miles per gallon, you can apply that to any car. Now let's say, for the sake of argument, I do drive an Aston Martin with a twin turbo V8 in it, and I get 24 miles a gallon highway. That adds up to 54.16 gallons of gas. That is 36% more gas. And that would be a total of $216.40 to take the same 1,300 mile trip in an Aston Martin. Now, Aston Martin, 503 horsepower twin turbo V8 versus 185 horsepower in the Accord is 171.9% more horsepower, worth only 36% more gas. That is for you to decide. Let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking, at this point in my life, I'm happy with the Honda Accord. It's also the car that I have. Is 36% more gas worth 171% more horsepower? My mind's telling me no. But my body's telling me yes. Now, the road trip itself was 1,300 miles, but I actually drove 1,400 miles on that tank that I filled up with in Utah, total on the trip gauge, before I filled up again when I got back to Los Angeles. If you take that 1,400 miles actually traveled into account with the same 39.82 gallons bought, that is 35.36 miles a gallon. And that's math. Like, how this car manages to get 35 miles a gallon just blows my mind. If we were to take 1,400 miles into account, I think the Aston Martin would just fall further behind. But that brings the mileage cost up or down to 8.79 miles per dollar on the 1,400 miles versus the 8.17 miles per dollar on the road trip itself. I don't know how to argue with that. That's so impressive. I honestly didn't know they still built them like that, and I'm very happy that that is the car I have to drive around Los Angeles into random concerts in Zion, Utah every day. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and hot rod everything.
Happy birthday.